Welcome back to NBC Update channel. Today we will learn about the chilling revelations and fractured bonds ripping through Salem on Days of Our Lives Thursday, December 4th episode. Where cryptic memories resurface, unlikely friendships ignite danger, and a stalker's shadow looms ever closer. In the opulent DiMera mansion library, E.J. DiMera Dan Furigal, still haunted by fragments of his Italian coma, pores over faded pages of Wuthering Heights under the glow of a single desk lamp. The novel's windswept moors echo in his mind, triggering flashes of a soft, rhythmic voice reciting Heathcliff's tormented declarations during his vulnerable haze in a remote Tuscan clinic. These auditory ghosts intensify as E.J. sketches timelines on napkins, connecting dots from blurred recollections of sterile beeps and whispered comforts that pierced his unconscious fog. His furrowed brow deepens, pulse quickening with the thrill of buried truths clawing their way to light amid Salem's perpetual intrigue. Enter Cat Green Aniline McCord, whose poised entrance into the DiMera study unleashes the floodgates. As she casually references the Bronte classic during a tense discussion on family alliances, E.J.'s eyes widen her timbre matches the phantom reader perfectly. Igniting a cascade of suppressed images, Cat bedside, her fingers tracing book edges, voice steady against his ventilator's hum. This bombshell realization floors him. Was her presence mere coincidence, or a calculated vigil woven into DiMera machinations? E.J. confronts her immediately, voice laced with accusation, demanding timelines and motives, while Cat deflects with measured poise. Her eyes flickering with the weight of half-truths about shared clinic isolation and unspoken debts from their Italian ordeal. At Bayview's echoing corridors, Sophia Choi, Rachel Boyd, and Rachel Black Alice Halsey deepen their whirlwind camaraderie. Huddled in a rec room corner amid scattered puzzles and faded motivational posters, Sophia, fresh from her guarded recovery triumph, spins vivid tales of outmaneuvering therapists and plotting comebacks against those who doubted her maternal instincts, drawing Rachel into a vortex of whispered schemes targeting Bayview's rigid overseers. Rachel, eyes alight with rare excitement amid her institutional blues, absorbs these blueprints like forbidden gospel, her laughter masking fears of entrapment. Yet this bond teeters on peril. Sophia's history of impulsive vendettas could ensnare Rachel in fallout. From leaked medical files to orchestrated escapes that shatter her fragile progress and alert watchful black family guardians. Domestic tensions erupt in the DiMera household as Chanel Dupree DiMera Raven Bowens and Johnny DiMera Carson Boatman clash in their sunlit kitchen, steam rising from cooling coffee mugs. The spark ignites over escalating whisper channel venting frustrations about pregnancy strains, compounding their adoption strains with Trey. While Johnny counters with fears of financial quicksands, pulling them under DiMera currents. Raised voices echo accusations of avoidance and control. Pots clattering as buried resentments surface, Chanel's independence clashing against Johnny's protective instincts forged in family legacies of loss. In a raw pivot, they collapse into tearful embraces, vowing renewed teamwork through therapy sessions and budget overhauls. Their reconciliation forging steelier resolve against looming twin burdens and E.J.'s hovering influence. Across town, Steve Stephen Nichols unwittingly ignites a relational inferno between his niece Stephanie Johnson Abigail Klein and Alex Kyriakis Robert Scott Wilson during a clandestine pub meetup shrouded in holiday dimness. Alex, driven by gnawing stalker paranoia, had slipped Steve that anonymous fan letter laced with veiled threats. Bypassing Stephanie's pleas for normalcy in hopes of swift intel from his uncle's investigative prowess. Steve's gruff probe yields leads, but backfires spectacularly when he blurts the secret op to Stephanie mid-argument, her face crumpling in betrayal over the trust breach. Fury-erupt Stephanie accuses Alex of paternalistic meddling, echoing her past heartbreaks, storming out as Steve mutters regrets. His good intentions fracturing their harmony just before a high-stakes Chicago book tour demands unity. Yet resilience flickers as Stephanie and Alex navigate the wreckage through late-night calls and raw apologies exchanged under starry skies. Alex owns his overprotectiveness rooted in Kyriakis' empire scars, while Stephanie admits vulnerability amplified by fan mail horrors, leading to a tentative pact, joint vigilance without secrets. Blending her poise with his fire. This mending sets a fragile stage for their promotional whirlwind, where signing sessions and panels test rebuilt bonds amid Alex's heightened alerts from Steve's partial dossier hints at patterns in the letter's postmarks. Holly Jonas Ashley Puzemis emerges as the episode's harbinger of dread, clutching a manila envelope bursting with sifted fan correspondence in the Kyriakis lobby's tense hush. Her unsettling delivery targets Alex directly, voice trembling as she unveils a stack of disturbingly cohesive missives from one obsessive sender, handwritten ravings, blending admiration with ominous predictions of Stephanie's fated mishaps. Holly recounts sleepless nights sorting piles, chills from recurring signatures mimicking stalker hallmarks Steve flagged. Alex's worrying skyrockets, jaw clenched as he envisions tour venues turning traps, prompting vows of doubled security and Holly's enlistment as informal ally. Her intuition sharpened by Jonah's family instincts for brewing storms. This December 4th tapestry weaves memories grip, treacherous ties, marital mending, romantic ruptures, and stalker specters into Salem's unrelenting pulse, priming explosive Chicago perils where personal histories collide with public spotlights. Part 2. Welcome back to NBC News Channel. Today we will learn about the dramatic and emotional events unfolding in Salem on Wednesday, December 3, 2025, a day filled with unexpected reunions, unsettling confessions, and turning points that will shape the future of several families on Days of Our Lives. As we explore these developments, each storyline will be expanded with richer detail, new moments, and deeper emotional layers, while still remaining true to the core plot of the original article. Leo brings warmth to Marlena's hospital room. The day begins with a quiet but heartfelt scene in Marlene Evans' hospital room, where she is still recovering from a recent medical crisis. The room has been cold and lonely lately, lacking the presence of her fractured family. That silence is broken when Leo Stark arrives, carrying a small gift wrapped in glittery paper, a gesture that immediately brings a fragile smile to Marlena's face. Leo, usually known for his flamboyant humor and chaotic charm, appears surprisingly composed. He sits at Marlena's bedside and gently presses the gift into her hands. Inside is a delicate silver charm shaped like an angel, a symbol of gratitude for all the times she has guided him through personal storms. The gesture moves Marlene profoundly. After weeks of tension and loss, this small act of kindness feels almost like a lifeline. As they talk, Leo suddenly shifts from playful to serious. He holds Marlena's hands and asks if she would officiate his wedding to Javi, a request that catches even Marlene off guard. For a moment, she is speechless, overwhelmed that someone still sees her as capable of offering stability, love, and wisdom. She says yes, and Leo practically explodes with joy, declaring that this moment will forever be part of their shared history. But Marlena's smile fades quickly when she confesses that her heart is still heavy. She feels responsible for the recent collapse in her family relationships and fears that she will never be able to repair the damage. Leo, for once, puts aside his jokes and gently reminds her that she is not only a brilliant therapist, but also a loyal friend and loving mother, someone who always finds a way to bring people together. His comfort may be simple, but for Marlene, it is a desperately needed reminder that she still matters. Brady faces harsh choices and brings Tate into the storm. While Marlene leans on Leo for comfort, Brady Black is dealing with struggles of his own. His daughter Rachel has spiraled so far out of control that he has no choice but to move in with Maggie. He hopes the calmer environment will help him reorganize his life and give Rachel a chance at healing. In a serious conversation with Tate, Brady finally reveals the truth about Rachel's condition and the turmoil consuming their family. Tate listens, wide-eyed and anxious, realizing that his sister's situation is much worse than he suspected. Brady pleads with him to keep everything secret, especially from Holly, explaining that the last thing Rachel needs is gossip or judgment. But Tate isn't sure how long he can keep quiet. He already feels suffocated by the weight of other secrets, and Holly's constant questions only make things harder. Brady senses the conflict in his son, but can do nothing except hope Tate's loyalty will hold. What Brady doesn't know is that these secrets are about to ripple through Salem in ways no one expects. Ari and Holly collide again. Elsewhere in the Salem Plaza, Holly Jonas crosses paths with Ari Horton, and their personalities clash instantly. Holly is tightly wounded, anxiety practically radiating off her as she complains about Tate's behavior, his lack of communication, and the distance she feels growing between them. Ari, who has very little patience for Holly's dramatics, finally snaps and tells her outright, "It's not all about you." The comment hangs in the air like a slap. Holly, stunned, tries to defend herself, insisting that she's only worried because she cares. But Ari has lived through enough Demare-adjacent chaos to know when someone is spiraling over nothing. Before Holly can pull herself together, Tate unexpectedly appears. He's just left the bar after picking up his paycheck, but the news he brings wipes the color from Holly's face. He tells them his grandmother has undergone emergency surgery and his sister Rachel has been sent to Bayview, a detail Holly had no idea about. Even worse, Tate reveals he's skipping school to visit Rachel, brushing past Holly with a simple "see you around." His dismissal is cold, but honest, leaving Holly speechless as he heads off. Ari offers a sympathetic shrug, but Holly is already drowning in guilt and confusion, unsure whether Tate is pulling away or simply protecting himself from her constant probing. Rachel confronts Sophia, and everything breaks. While Tate rushes to Bayview, Rachel is finally facing her own demons and the person she least wants to see, Sophia. Their history is jagged and painful, filled with accusations, traumatic memories, and emotional battles neither of them ever resolved. When Rachel walks into the therapy room, she looks like a child forced into the principal's office, eyes full of dread. Sophia immediately tries to start calmly, encouraging Rachel to breathe, to talk, to face what she's been burying. But Rachel, overwhelmed and terrified, lashes out. She accuses Sophia of never understanding her, never helping her, never trying hard enough. The words spill like lava, full of heat and hurt. Finally, Rachel tells Sophia the one thing Sophia has feared hearing, that she doesn't want her help and never wants to speak to her again. The declaration hits like a blow. Sophia remains professional, but her face betrays the pain underneath. She knows Rachel is projecting, that anger is part of the healing process, but still, hearing such words from someone she has tried so hard to save shatters her more than she expected. And while Rachel storms out, something in Sophia shifts. She begins to wonder whether this young girl so angry, so lost has reached a point where therapy alone may not be enough. A day of shattered bonds and new beginnings. By the end of the day, Salem stands at a crossroads. Marlene regains a spark of hope through Leo's compassion. Brady makes a decision that could redefine his family's future. Tate is trapped between truth and loyalty. Holly watches her relationship with Tate crumble in real time. And Rachel, overwhelmed by her own pain, pushes away the one person trying to help her. It is a day where hearts break, secrets grow heavier, and the smallest actions carry consequences that will shape the days ahead in Salem.